And Ms. Rodriguez, you may proceed. Are there any agreements?
Yes, Your Honor, there are some agreements. If I can move forward with those. First, the parties have agreed that they will be named joint managing conservators without a geographic restriction.
Okay.
And child support is going to be set at $412 each month beginning October 1st, 2024. Mom will be enrolling the children in a government plan, and Mr. Marshall will pay cash medical support at $109 beginning October 1st, 2024. And that's extent of the agreement. I would have to ask a couple questions on the rest.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just for the record, I just would like for you to take judicial notice of the genetic testing that was filed with the court on September 4th, 2024, which proves the paternity of Mr. Marshall for the children made Logan Banks and Landon Banks.
I do take judicial notice of that DNA test report that was filed with the court September 4th of 2024. And sir, it shows that you are the father, I guess, of Logan Banks. Everyone's in agreement now? If you can unmute and answer out loud, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there some reason there's two test
There's two children.
But they're okay, Logan and Landon. Okay, so he's also the father of Landon Banks.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. First, I would like to call Ms. Banks. Ms. Banks, if you could please unmute yourself.
Yes.
Ms. Banks, you read the agreements as I stated into the record, correct?
Yes.
And on those agreements, do you understand them?
I do. Yes, I do.
And then you agree with those things I read out to the court. Is that correct?
Correct.
And on the visitation, Ms. Banks, you are aware that Mr. Donnie legally has the right to a standard possession order, or you understand that you agree that he has a standard possession order, but you don't want him to exercise visitation, or can you explain to the judge a little bit about your position on visits?
I'm just skeptical because I just feel like in my heart, I know that the only reason why visitation would be beginning is because of this child support order. It wouldn't be a genuine visitation. So I'm just real leery about my children being in safe arms while they're there and being well taken care of. I'm okay with the agreement. It's just hitting me all at once. So it's a little, yeah, I'm on the fence about it.
Okay, so just to clear things up, are you in agreement with Mr. Banks having Mr. Marshall having a standard possession order visitation schedule with the children?
Yes.
Okay. And I would like to pass this witness at this time, Your Honor, and call Mr. Donnie.
Okay, you may do so. Do they have an agreement on the name change, or do I need testimony on that?
I was going to come back to her, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine.
Mr. Marshall, are you requesting the court grant your visitation pursuant to a standard possession order?
Yes, please.
And you've attempted to visit the children in the past, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I have completely no access to the children whatsoever at this current moment. I don't have a phone number. I don't even know where she officially stays right now, due to the point that I have not had contact with her in God knows how long. It's pretty much almost most of the time that the kids have been born. I've only seen the kids. I've only been allowed to see the kids twice since they've been born. And I didn't even know they were born until 2 days after they were born.
And was that because of something you wanted, or would you have had things a different way?
I would have had would have been able to, I wish I was able to contact her. I have no working phone numbers. I have no access to her social media. I have no access to anything. So I cannot even reach out to her to speak to her, to even try to see the children.
And so you're requesting that the judge order that you have visitation with the children so that you can start a relationship with them. Is that right?
Yes, please.
And then are you requesting the court to change the children's last name?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the last name that you would like for them to have?
Marshall.
And I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any other witnesses?
Actually, yes, I'm sorry, Judge. I'll probably have to call him again, but I'm going to go back to Ms. Banks.
Okay.
I apologize. Ms. Banks, did you heard Mr. Marshall's request for a last name change for the children? Is that correct?
I heard it, yes.
Are you opposing that the children's surname be changed to his last name?
I do not want their names to have them to have his last name. No, I do not.
And you understand that he is the father of the children?
Completely.
Is there a reason why you don't want them to have his last name?
All my children have my last name, and their fathers have earned that last name wholeheartedly. Mr. Marshall, regardless of what he is stating, it's not true, but that's something that has to be earned, and it's not there.
Ms. Banks, what do you mean? Can you explain to the court what do you mean by earn his right as a father to have the last name, like the kids to have the last name of their father?
This all stemmed from him not even wanting me to have these kids. This was not, he didn't want me to go through with pregnancy at all. So all of this that he's showing y'all right now and stating to y'all right now is only because.
Your Honor, objection, non-responsive.
Overruled. Overruled, ma'am. Give me a moment, please, to rule on the objections. You may proceed, ma'am.
All of this that he's stating, saying that he doesn't have a way to contact me. He has my number. He is not blocked on social media. I've gotten his text messages about wanting to see the kids. I have not responded because I wanted to do it the right way and go through the court system through a custody agreement. That's the only reason I haven't responded. Now that we have the custody agreement set in place, I don't have an issue with that. But as far as the last name, I can't bend on that.
I pass this witness, Your Honor, on the name change issue, and I would like to call Mr. Donnie again.
Okay.
Mr. Marshall, have you reached out to Ms. Banks to try to see the children?
Yes, multiple times. I've even asked for her so that I can have my other children meet their brothers and sisters. It's been almost a year now, and I have not been able to get all of my children together to be able to let them meet their own brothers, their two brothers. This is beyond. It's just I don't understand, and this I don't see. I mean, I don't understand what her logic behind the situation, understanding that I've been trying to be there. I have tried to be there. I have proof that I was blocked, that I've been blocked. I don't even know if I have working phone numbers. So if I've tried reaching out to the phone numbers that I have, no responses, no nothing. So how am I supposed to know if a number actually works or not? Because no one is responding to me to try. As I reach out, I ask you, what do you need? Is there anything that you need? Tell me what you need. I can't read a mind. So I can't give you anything. I can't help you. I can't be there when you're not giving me access to the children that are legally mine.
And Mr. Marshall, would you oppose the judge granting a name change, including a hyphenation of both of your last names?
I feel like if I'm going to be paying child support, which is the one thing I don't agree with the number because of what's going on. But if I'm paying child support, I believe all my children have my name. So I believe these two children shouldn't be any different from my other two that have my name.
I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Yeah, Ms. Banks, can you clarify your other children's last names? Because you said one thing, but then you said something that seemed to contradict it, and I'm not sure what you were saying.
I said my children have my last name.
But then you said their fathers earned it. What did they earn?
The fact that they have been 110 million% in their lives from birth to up till now, which Mr. Marshall has not, regardless.
I'm not asking what Mr. Marshall's done. I'm asking what.
Okay, yeah,
But
they
but
are present.
was that like a non sequitur when you said it? It has nothing to do with their names. So that when you said that they earned it, it has nothing to do with the names, because the names are banks, not whatever their names are, unless they happen to share the name with you.
They're hyphen.
They're Okay, so that's, you did not say that. Okay, so your other children's names are hyphenated.
Right.
Okay.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to call Ms. Young-Fleeton.
Okay. Okay, you may do so.
Ms. Young-Fleeton, will you let the court know your position, your current position at the Office of the Attorney General?
I'm a child support officer.
And how long have you been working at the child support office as a
17.
child support officer?
Is this about back child support?
Yes.
Okay, I'm leaning towards doing a temporary order. Because me ruling on name changes in situations like this, it's I get what Ms. Banks is saying, and I get what Mr. Marshall is saying. And so I kind of want to see what happens once they have a court order, if he gets involved in their lives or not. Because there's a lot of things that happened over this almost last year that now that there's going to be an order are going to dissolve. So I kind of want to see how the children are under the order and how everyone's relationships change under this order before I make a life decision for these almost 1-year-olds based on I want. Because there's really not much to a name change. There's not a whole lot of facts or issues that go into a name change. If Mr. Marshall is going to stand up, I would think the name should be hyphenated. If Mr. Marshall's not going to stand up, though, I'm not sure why I would give a 1-year-old his name if he's not going to be in their lives. So it's a big decision, but there's not a lot to base it on until I see what they do.
Yes, Your Honor. So at this time, the state requests to reserve the retroactive issue for final trial. And I would like to let Ms. Young-Fleeton go ahead and be dismissed from the hearing.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the final suggestion requested by the state, I think that might help the parties, is them using app close to communicate, and also the judge ordering Ms. Banks to provide her contact information to Mr. Marshall and ordering her to not block Mr. Marshall from being able to contact her, so that we can see how things go once you have made your ruling.
Okay, and so the standard possession order usually has Mr. Marshall picking up and dropping off from Ms. Banks' house. And if I'm understanding everyone's testimony correctly, he does not know where that is, so he could not do it right now. Is that true or is that not true? Ms. Banks is shaking her head, which again, that does not make it to the record if you shake your head. It's a recording.
That is not true. That is not true. He knows exactly where I stay. Nothing has changed. No contact information has changed. He has my access to my social media. No, he's not blocked on my phone line. Nothing has changed. I just have not been answering him when he does contact me due to I wanted this to be finalized.
Okay, well, it's not going to be finalized, but it is going to be a final temporary order, and it's going to be clear cut. And that's, all this is what I'll also look at final trial to make this decision as well. So I am not, I'm Mr. Marshall, you have a question?
Right, ma'am, at this current time, I'm currently having a little issue with transportation. So it's going to be really rough for me to be able to go back and forth right now. I have to be honest with you. I mean, because I lost my vehicle right now. So I'm in the process of trying to work on getting a new vehicle so that I can do so I can do visits, because she stays so far from me. Uber is almost non-existent, or Lyft. So right now I'm in a situation right now where I don't have a car. I lost my car back in July 19th. And I've been getting rides back and forth to work just so that I can make the money to pay my child support.
And so, Your Honor, if I may interject, you
may interject.
Mr. Marshall, Do you think you're gonna have a vehicle anytime soon?
Right now, the way my money is set up, it's really, really, really difficult. My checks are nowhere near what I don't even know how I'm going to be able to pay this form of child support right now due to how much I actually pay in child support right now and how much my checks really are.
Mr. Marshall, are you requesting any other type of communications with the kids at this time so that you can start
At least if I can do maybe a Zoom or FaceTime or...
Okay, I think,
yeah,
I almost think
right.
I need to grant a new trial, sua sponte, and maybe have all issues on the table. This was presented as agreements, but there's seemingly no agreement. And then he's saying he really can't even afford the child support, which makes me wonder if it is calculated properly.
Your Honor, we did calculate that properly. And Mr. Marshall, regarding the
cash
visit,
medical of 109 is on the high end. I'm not sure that needed to be 109, I just, especially given the driving distance.
and Your Honor, I know that sometimes we just base it off the code, which is it could be 9%. So maybe that's why.
Pretty rare, but okay. Occasionally it happens.
And he didn't get charged 9% for this one either.
And so, I mean,
I guess, Your Honor,
sir, you literally were begging me to give you visits.
Yeah.
I gave you visits, and now you say you can't do the visit. I'm guessing Ms. Banks feels the same frustration for different reasons. But again, I think, I don't know if you all want to go talk some more to them, or you just want to have a hearing on all issues, but I'm going to sua sponte, grant a new trial. All of that goes away. And right now you don't have an order. I don't know what to say.
Your Honor, if I may say something.
You may say something.
Yeah, so I would not want everything to go away. And I know that from what the testimony is Mr. Marshall is saying that he would like to start exercising visits. So if the order is in place and as soon as he gets a vehicle, then he will be able to start exercising the possession order. And then we'll come back in December and go from there to see if he's actually doing it.
Trial. I want some more testimony. Again, this was presented to me as an agreement. And then until I asked how far they were from each other, I didn't know he lived in Orange. I'm willing to give him a little leeway on that child support if he's going to actually make a drive. Not to sound like he's making a drive. I guess I don't know enough to fully do this. I
think Ms. Banks
the whole reason I'm reserving the name change is to see if he exercises visits. He just told me he's not going to exercise.
I understand, Your Honor.
I'm not even sure what the purpose of that is.
I understand, Judge.
Ms. Banks, was there something you wanted to say?
Yes, Your Honor, even before all this happened, this child support case existed, and I was trying to, have him come see the boys. It was always thrown out there that, oh, you stay too far. Even when he did have a car, totally fine working, it was always a problem. And you stay too far, and I'm not going to be able to come that often because you're so far out there. Well, okay, now it's looking kind of shady because he doesn't have a car and he's trying to say that's the same reason. Altogether, it's all a bunch of mess. And it's not right. It's not right at all. Because I feel like he keeps postponing it so that y'all can, he keeps throwing problems out there so that y'all can still procrastinate and slow down on his child support so that it don't take place. Same reason why he threw that DNA test out there. He came to my house after my boys were born with a DNA test from Walgreens. And it came back that my boys were his. Now, y'all, we have this child support going through the process with this, and he wants to take another one to try to postpone it. So it's like, it's a slap in my boy's face, all of this stuff that he's doing.
So, sir, you have no ETA on when you're going to get a vehicle and be able to exercise visits?
Currently, at this current moment, no, because I'm struggling. I literally paid $500 in child support for my other two children. And with that being said, my salary is only $817 every 10th and the 25th. So that's like roughly $1,600, and I'm already paying $500. I'm paying $1,000 of that to my other my ex-wife. So with that being said, I barely have enough to even eat, go to work, and pay my rent. And my rent just went up to $675. So I'm so broke that it's so hard right now trying to make it. I literally work for a school district. I work for Beaumont ISD School District as a bus driver, but we are set on a certain salary, and I'm only making $817 a month. I mean every paycheck. So that's like I said, that's before taxes, and before taxes and my $500 child support that comes out of my check every 10th and the 25th.
Okay, I'm going to reopen this to hear testimony on child support. I'm not sure what you all based it on, but those numbers don't seem to match what this is. I'm going to finalize this order today because I see no reason in dragging this out based on his testimony as well. I'm granting a new trial as to, well, all issues, and then most of them are going to stay the same, but I'm granting a new trial as to all issues. And if you can, I want to hear testimony on the child support.
Yes, Your Honor. Then I would like to call Ms. Janae Young-Clayton. Ms. Janae Young-Clayton, will you please let the court know how much child support, based off your calculations, that Mr. Marshall should be paying at this time?
I base the child support on $24.17 gross a month, health insurance $109. That leaves net at $1998.40. 2 other children for a multifamily child support amount of $412.17.
I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Young-Clayton, was that based on paycheck stubs?
No, ma'am. That was based on reported wages.
Was it based on reported wages from the Beaumont Independent School District?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It was for the second quarter of 2024. Third quarter has not posted yet.
Okay. You may call your next witness.
Mr. Marshall, you heard Ms. Young-Clayton's testimony on your wages. Are you disagreeing with her testimony on your wages for the quarter?
Yes, because see, the reason it looks the way it looks is because they're basing it on what it would be if I had been there a whole year. I've only been at the Beaumont School District since February 21st, which gave me a prorated pay, which only gave me from February to May, I made $6,000. From May to August, I probably made another $4,000, maybe, if that. But that's because I worked summer school, and then they add your summer school. They add your hours that you work, which were like, I only worked 20 hours a week during summer school. And then they added my $500 to my $594 salary to that. That's the only reason, but that does not even calculate when you're paying $500 plus your other taxes. There's no way that I would actually be able to afford another $400 in child support. I just won't be able to afford it, and not even being able. It's not like I can actually, the way my job is set up, I work split shifts. I work in the morning, I work in the evening. There's no way that I can even pick up a second job to supplement my income to even survive. So I don't agree with the child support because, like I said, I was on a prorated scale of pay salary versus being a full salary. So she's basing my income on what it would have been if I worked a whole year with the district. And now she's basing my new income. She's basing this child support on the income that I would be based on getting if I worked the full year. And I have not worked a full year at the district. So I've not made nowhere near what they said, and I can prove it by my paycheck stubs. My
Can
paycheck
you send
stubs
the AG's
show.
office some paycheck stubs so we can look at what you're earning?
Yes, I can pull them up right now if you want. I can go right on the website and pull them up.
Recommend you do that, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Here we go. Would you like me to share my screen?
Why don't you send them to the Attorney General's office?
Okay. How do you guys want me to send them? What email or whatever? How do you want me to do it?
Your Honor, did you want him to email it to us instead of sharing the screen at this time?
Yes, because I'm likely going to have to look at them, and it's very hard with shared screens. Plus, it's on YouTube.
Guess I can send him the. Don't send him the. Let me send him our email.
I'm gonna send. How many paycheck stubs would you like, Your Honor?
It is really up to you. This is you presenting your evidence.
Okay.
But when is your fiscal year? When does the school start
The
and
school
stop?
year just started. I got my first paycheck for the school district for this school year to actually yesterday.
So your fiscal year ends August 31st?
Yes. No, it ended August 1st, but the first paycheck didn't hit until the September 10th.
But I thought you were paid twice a month. Didn't you say that?
Yes. Yes, but they didn't. I don't understand it. They were still paying out from.
Why don't you send all the August ones and the September one?
Yes, ma'am. I will do that right now.
A few minutes later.
I'm going to order a temporary order. I'm going to establish paternity for Logan and Landon, and establish that Mr. Marshall is their father. I'm going to reserve the issue on the name change.
Did you say something, Judge? I saw your.
No,
Yeah.
I think
Oh, okay.
I type notes, but it moves. There's good and bad to technology, and so I'm just moving it to somewhere else so I don't have to scroll back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Because I
didn't want to make sure my audio didn't stop working. I'm sorry.
No, just give me a moment. Lost case. Okay. Okay. The geographic restriction before I make my full ruling. I generally don't do no geographic restrictions. Do they not live near each other?
Your Honor, I believe the state of Texas might work. Mr. Marshall lives in Beaumont, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Marshall, if you can confirm that for me.
Yes, ma'am. I stay in Beaumont, Texas.
What county is that, Mr. Marshall?
Jefferson.
So, Your Honor, then maybe if we would not, well, the state suggests that the geographic restriction be Galveston County and Jefferson County.
And ma'am, do you have any plans to be leaving the Galveston County area?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to do a restriction for now of Galveston, contiguous counties to Galveston, and I'm sorry, which was that again? Jefferson.
Your Honor, is it possible that we can add Harris County just in case so I can meet
That
some
is a
other kids
contiguous
can
county.
meet?
That's a contiguous county. Harris
Okay.
is contiguous to Galveston. It touches Galveston. Contiguous is any county that touches it. So I believe Chambers touches it. Harris, Fort Bend, I think Brazoria.
Montgomery. Oh wait, no, that's
No, I don't think Montgomery
Harris. That's
touches
Harris,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with this, I'll be able to actually be able to take the kids with me, and she does not have to be there.
Let me finish
We'll go over it, Mr. Marshall. Don't worry.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, if I stop my ruling and answer questions, my ruling's not complete, and then you leave and it's a mess. So let me just get through it, and then people can ask questions if they have it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so establishing the parent-child relationship, the joint managing conservatorship, with Ms. Banks having the right to determine the primary residence of the children within Galveston County or any place that touches Galveston and Jefferson. For the visitation, it sounds like y'all agreed to the standard possession order. And I'm pretty sure they're still within 100 miles. Although I'm not sure. I don't know. It depends on where they all live. So do you all know?
Mr. Marshall, are you 100 miles away from the house that Ms. Banks has? Ms. Banks, do you know? No, well, you don't know.
It's pretty close. It's maybe maybe a little bit maybe a tad bit under, maybe give or take. I'm not 100% sure.
What did you all
I'm
agree?
not 100%.
That was an agreement. I didn't hear testimony on any of this.
On the geographic restriction, Your Honor?
No, on the visitation.
Oh, standard possession order, Your Honor. I did not specify if it was for parties over 100 miles. But
I'm sorry.
if I may ask Ms. Young-Fleeton, if that's okay with Judge.
They're not knowing, they're going to come back and say they didn't do any visitation, and then it's going to be our fault.
It's an hour and 38 minutes away, 90.7 miles.
Okay.
So it would be for under 100, Your Honor.
What else did you discuss with them? Like, do they even know what they agreed to?
Yes, they understand, Your Honor, that a standard possession is the first, third, and fifth alternating holidays, and yes.
Okay. So I'm ordering that standard possession order. My understanding is he's going to pick up and drop off from her residence. There's no supervision. It's just a standard possession order. Okay. So my sure everyone's on the same page. So I'm ordering that. I'm ordering that he pay child support to Ms. Banks of $412 each month beginning October 1st of 2024. I'm ordering that he pay medical support to Ms. Banks of $109 each month. I'm going to wait on the back child support till final trial. I'm going to order
Your Honor. Sorry.
I'm going to order them to communicate through app close. And I'm going to order them to take a parenting class. And you can just print out the one from Galveston and attach it to their temporary order. And they have to take that before the next setting. And then we'll see how things are going when they come back.